Hey guys, Danny Bossa. Had a little thought kind of run through my head about a topic that I have never mentioned on this channel before. Doesn't completely have to do with TRT, but when I explain, you'll get it. Um, it's in regards to a lot of you guys that are on TRT, and you're getting in shape and you're putting on some size, and now you're seeing, I wonder what more I can do, and maybe you're trying to find ways to up your TRT, or maybe you're delving into certain kinds of anabolics. Maybe you're doing just orals like Anavar and D-balls, or maybe you're going into the injections like Deca and Primo and Masterin and on and on. Um, for those of you that have been on cycles and whatnot for a very long time, this video is not for you. You're probably just going to have a big chuckle at what I got to say. This video is really for the guys that are just starting out or are considering doing it. I'm going to give you a perspective that I just want you to keep in the back of your head, so if ever you start seeing it kind of occur, you'll remember this video, okay? So I'm in this community for a little while, so clearly I have a lot of friends of mine that are delving into a lot of different types of anabolic steroids. Some are just doing what they call TRT add-ons, and some of them are doing gigantic mega blasts of levels that you wouldn't even believe. I decided that I wanted to give something like that a try, but more of a TRT add-on, just to see what it would do. And the very first thing I tried was Deca, Decaturbalinus, otherwise known as Nandrolone. No, I wasn't using NPP. I was using strict Nandrolone, Deca. And I wanted to see what effect it would have on my joints. I started taking 50 milligrams a week. And frankly, it helped my joints, kind of nice. And I eventually bumped that up to 100 milligrams a week. And I remember joints feeling good, but then I was training at the gym. And I mean, I was getting strong. And I was putting on size. And this was cool, even at a low dose. And I found I tolerated it rather well. Towards the end, I felt like I was getting a little lethargic, and I thought maybe I should stop, but afterwards I wasn't really sure. So in my mind, I tolerated this stuff well. So I decided to try it again later on, and obviously peer pressure, well, maybe not peer pressure, I'm a big boy and I don't really cave into peer pressure, but clearly the friends I had were, egging me on to say, why don't you do a higher dose? And clearly I'm getting understandably curious about what would happen if I did a higher dose. So what I did is I very, very gradually was raising it. Okay, so I started at 200 milligrams a week, and I stuck on that for a little while, and that was fine. And then I tried bumping up to 250, 2 weeks, that's fine. I get up to 300, let me get up, okay, maybe I can keep going. Maybe I'll get to 400. Oh, 400 is okay. Let me get to 500. And I think it was about 500 plus or minus, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was about that. That one night, I woke up with the most nightmarish, ridiculous anxiety that if I just think of some of the stuff that went through my mind, I'd probably bust out crying right here, okay? Really, really nasty shit. So I wake up and I'm trying to shake it off, and I remember I would shake it off, and then I would get back in bed, and I would close my eyes, and as soon as I started drifting off, it would just hit me again like a freight train. Kind of like, imagine, somebody's holding a gun right next to your head, and as soon as you're nodding off, he pulls the trigger and just scares the living shit out of you, right? So that was happening to me, and I wasn't sure what it was. I kept going with the Deca, and I was eliminating other stuff, and sure enough, it happened to be the Deca, because when I stopped the Deca, the problem went away. So that took a while for that issue to go away. It wasn't gone away like the next day. It took, I think, 2 weeks or something like that, and eventually went away. So me, Mr. Knucklehead, where I sometimes claim I'm smarter than I really am, I figured, well, let me just take, I'll just take the 200 milligrams a week, because the 200 milligrams a week was just fine, and I didn't have any issue with that. Well, it turns out that it was either the length of time that caused the issue I'm about I was talking about, or it was the dose, that maybe I hit a certain dose, which caused something. but it changed something in my brain. I can say it broke something in my brain where now if I would even take 50 milligrams of Deca, that issue comes back almost immediately. And I mean almost immediately. The most insane, nightmarish, nighttime anxiety and panic that you could possibly imagine times 100. Okay? So then I said, shit. I said, well, there goes that experiment. So I'm like, okay, well, I wonder what else I can try. You know, what's really anabolic and very, very powerful. You don't need a big dose. So I'm trying to, you know, not knowing much about this stuff. Oh, trenbolone, perfect. Yeah, guys, trenbolone. If you don't know what trenbolone is one of the most powerful freaking steroids known to man. So me, Mr., you know, smarty pants, thinks he's smarter than he really is, knucklehead. I figure, well, if tren is that powerful, maybe I could take like a fraction of what guys would take, you know, and maybe I'll even do daily shots. So maybe I'll just try like 5 milligrams of tren a day. And people would probably laugh and say, what the hell's 5 milligrams of tren going to do? And I figure, well, if it's that powerful, it should give some kind of anabolic benefit. Let's see, because I like to experiment. I took a shot of that stuff, and that night was just an absolute mess. The problem that I had on the Deca came back immediately. Multiply that by 10. I stopped that, and it was 2 months of sleeping like that not sleeping, every single night, night after night, starting to have to take sleeping pills like you wouldn't believe just so I can go to sleep. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. This was some really, really scary, like almost traumatizing crap, okay? So you experience guys, you're looking at me saying, this guy's okay. And yeah, if I was you, I'd probably be saying the same thing. But to the guys starting out, my advice to you is, be really freaking careful, okay? If you're going to do anything, start at like on a scale of 1 to 100, start at 1, you know, and go to 2 and take your sweet time and see, okay? And number 3 is, if that stuff affected me like that, it can affect you like that. Now, what are the odds of it affecting you like that? Yeah, probably really, really slim. I must admit, I'm likely a frickin' unicorn. I don't know how many guys out there are like me. Maybe you'll comment under this video and tell me, am I the only one, or have a lot of you experienced this kind of issue? Okay, because I don't know. But obviously, if there's one of me, there's got to be at least more of me, right? So just please be careful and go slow and low and slow as long as you can, and just, you don't need to go nuts. Guys, just a little bit of this stuff has such a huge impact, and I bet you maybe if I would have just stuck with that tiny dose and just gone low and slow, man, what a difference that would have made, okay? And it would have kept my health, and in particular my brain health, okay? So be careful. Have a good one, guys. Bye.